Alright, hey besties. It's been a little bit. I told you I was gonna be more consistent. I lied. But we get in there. We get in there. Don't hate me. I'm trying my best. But so many of y'all have been asking me to make a video about my birth journey, my birth story. If y'all didn't know, I did give birth to my baby boy 2 weeks ago today, actually. I'm 2 weeks postpartum today. My baby boy is 2 weeks old, so I feel like it's a perfect time to tell y'all how my journey went, how recovery went, how everything went, honestly. So we're just gonna get straight into it, start from the very jump and explain everything. So yeah, but to begin, let's show y'all the belly. So this is where we're at. This is 2 weeks postpartum. The belly is slowly going down. Some of this is still swelling. I have been having a little bit of swelling lately, but this is kind of what the belly's gonna look like. So I'm not too angry at this. I'm not angry. I like that. I got a little kangaroo pouch, but it's okay. We gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. So let's get straight into it. Let's bring y'all a little closer. Y'all like his little shoe wall? I gotta buy 2 more shelves. I'm gonna put 2 more shelves up and down because he has more shoes to put up here, but I have no more room. But it's gonna be cute. It's gonna be very, very cute. He probably won't wear half them shoes, but do I care? No, it looks cute. So, like I said, today is September 24th. I gave birth on September 10th. So I did have a scheduled C-section. So a lot of y'all keep asking me, why did you have a C-section? For your first birth, first baby, why did you choose a C-section? A lot of y'all have like a very negative outlook on C-sections. That's not the case. But to answer y'all questions, I did have a C-section because my baby boy was breached most of my pregnancy, and I'm gonna explain that in a second. So at my 32-week ultrasound, my baby boy decided that he was gonna be head down. Everything looked good. We were planning my natural labor. Doctor told me we're just gonna let it happen when it happens. You're gonna go into labor naturally. That's what I wanted. That's what the plan was from the jump. I wanted a natural labor, no epidural. I didn't want to be induced. I wanted it as natural as possible. So 32 weeks, everything looked amazing. He was looking healthy. He was head down. Cool, right? So 32 weeks, his ultrasound was cute, but me being me, I wanted a cuter ultrasound picture. So I went and scheduled a like private ultrasound, which is like not through my doctor. So I went and paid, like, it was like literally like an ultrasound place. So you just pay privately, insurance don't cover it, nothing like that. You just pay for an ultrasound. I wanted to see my baby one last time before I gave birth. And I went and did this around 35 weeks. So at 35 weeks, I did another ultrasound. And during that ultrasound, we learned that baby boy was not head down no more. So his head was, oh, can y'all see it? So his head was up here. So he decided between 32 and 35 weeks that he wanted to flip again. So usually if your baby's head down at 32 weeks, they're gonna stay head down. I don't know why he decided to flip. He's stubborn. We love him for it. But he decided that he wanted to flip again. So honestly, I didn't think nothing of it when she told me. Like I said, I wasn't at my doctor's office, so I didn't think nothing of it. I had another doctor's appointment at 36 weeks because that's when you start having them weekly. And I was just like joking around with my doctor, and I was like, yeah, I went and had another ultrasound. It looked good. He's healthy. He's this, he's that. And then I was like, yeah, but he's not ready to come out no time soon. He's not head down. And my doctor looked at me with like the craziest eyes, and I was like, what? Like, what happened? And she was like, what do you mean he wasn't head down? And I was like, yeah, he's not head down. His head is like up near my ribs. And she was like, but he was head down in his last ultrasound. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? And like, I still wasn't putting 2 and 2 together. And then she told me, she was like, well, if he's not head down, it means it's a C-section. So at 36 weeks, we planned a C-section because he was not head down. It was, yeah, 36, I believe. Yes, 36. At 36 weeks, you still have plenty of time. Baby boy can still flip. They can flip all the way until 40 weeks, honestly. But it's not very likely. If y'all saw any of my maternity photos, y'all know I was carrying very, very little. Like, my belly was tiny. So it was very unlikely for him to flip again. So we just went and had scheduled a C-section so we could have everything in order. But of course, if he decided to flip, I could still go naturally if he decided to flip last minute. So we just kind of kept monitoring it. He didn't flip for the next couple weeks. So we just, every week we just kept monitoring it. He still wasn't flipping. So we're like, okay, C-section it is. Mentally, I prepared myself for a C-section. I was okay with it at this point. Honestly, I just wanted a healthy baby. I didn't care anymore if it was naturally, if it was C-section. A lot of y'all just be looking at C-sections like it's the most awful thing in the entire world. I literally had a girl on TikTok tell me that me having a C-section was the easy way out. So that was probably the craziest thing I heard about a C-section. I didn't know cutting through 7 layers of skin was the easy way out, having your baby ripped out of your stomach. But, okay. In my opinion, birth is birth. It's a beautiful thing, and C-section naturally, both equally as hard, as painful. They each have their pros and cons. I don't think you're better than another woman because you went naturally. I don't think you're better than another woman because you had a C-section. That's kind of absolutely crazy to me that any mother would even think like that. So those kind of comments are very, very crazy to me. But yeah, so I mentally prepared for a C-section. I was okay with it. We scheduled it for September 10th. And we just went from there. So my last appointment that I had was on, like September 7th, I believe. It was the 6th or 7th. I had one last doctor's appointment before my C-section. So we went there, and it was just a normal doctor's appointment. It was really just gonna be a checkup. How you feeling? Good. Okay, bye. Y'all know at the end, them doctor's appointments don't mean nothing. They don't do nothing. They're not important, really. They're just asking if you feel good, and that's it. So I showed up. Everything was normal. Went and did my urine sample, went into the back, and that's when they took my weight. And that's when we realized that I lost, I think it was like 6 or 7 pounds. I dropped in weight. So I'm 39 weeks at this point, and I lost 7 pounds. So that's not the most common thing in the entire world. So my doctor wasn't too concerned, but we did do another ultrasound just to guarantee that everything was okay, that baby boy was okay, that mama was okay, that he had enough fluid, just to cancel out all the negative things that was going through my head. My doctor gave me that one less, like, little clarity, honestly, to just be like, your baby's okay, you're gonna make it to Tuesday perfectly fine. So we did one last ultrasound, and of course, during that ultrasound, baby boy decided that he was gonna be head down. Amazing news, right? Oh my God, I can give birth naturally. I don't need to have a C-section. I was the happiest girl alive, seeing that he was head down. Everything looked good. I was so happy. A couple days before my C-section, whew, I was like, there's no way this boy flipped. And what's crazy is I literally have a video from the night before my doctor's appointment of him flipping. I know it was him flipping because that's why I took a video, because it was the most aggressive kicking I have ever felt my entire pregnancy. And it was so much movement, and I was like, I just took a video because, I mean, what pregnant woman don't take a video when they feel their baby kicking? And so I was like, okay, oh my God, that's amazing. I was smiling ear to ear during my ultrasound. And then obviously your doctor has to review your ultrasounds. That was the whole point of the ultrasound. It was really another growth ultrasound to make sure that baby boy was okay, because I did lose so much weight. And so my doctor, she called me. I missed the call, so she sent me a message the next day, and I was looking forward to her message. I was so excited for her to be like, oh, you can go natural. So in her message, she told me baby looks great. All of me, I look great. Fluids, everything looks amazing. But baby boy is measuring very, very big. And she literally put in her message, she said, it's kind of hard to believe because of how little you're carrying, but he is measuring at 9 pounds. And that like literally put me in shock. And I was like, there's no way I have a 9-pound baby in this little belly. Let me show y'all how my belly looked, because y'all is not gonna believe me when I say that like I was carrying so little. Like, I don't know how or where there was a 9-pound baby, but there was. So this was the day of my C-section. If it wants to focus, come on baby. Y'all can kind of see it, but that's my belly. It looks decent, but it's tiny. That's not a 9-pound belly. Come on. Light making it not want to focus. There we go. So this was like a week before. So I had a belly. It was there. But that's not a 9-pound baby belly. So we were both kind of in shock. And not only was he measuring heavy, but they measured like his actual body, and his shoulders were measuring very, very wide. So then came up the discussion of, if you do go naturally, first of all, giving birth to a 9-pound baby is not the most pleasant thing. If any of y'all have gave birth to a big baby, y'all understand. I haven't, but it's common sense. That's not pleasant. And then also with his shoulders measuring so wide, there came the risk of him getting stuck during labor. So if he were to get stuck, then my doctor has to break my baby's shoulder to get him out. And the minute she told me that, I said, no. Absolutely not. One thing about me, if I can prevent a risk, I'm gonna prevent it. So I'm sure a lot of y'all, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but when we were figuring out that my baby wasn't head down, she gave me the option of an EVC, which is flipping the baby, attempting to flip the baby. So the doctor puts a lot of pressure on your belly and literally tries to flip the baby while they're still inside your stomach. That is a 50-50% procedure. 50% it works, 50% it don't work. I didn't do it because there was a risk that my baby could be harmed. There was a risk that it would have resulted in an emergency C-section. There was a risk that, there were so many risks. If I can prevent those risks, I'm going to prevent them. I decided not to go through with the EVC. So then when I heard this, that I heard that there was a potential that my baby could get stuck during labor and I can prevent that, I said, let's prevent that. I was already mentally prepared for a C-section. Let's continue with this C-section. It's only in a couple days. I do not want to change my birth plan again 3 days before my baby's supposed to be here. That's just something I did not want to do. Like, that's not fun. I already had to switch it twice. I'm mentally prepared for a C-section. It is what it is. I'm ready for my baby to be here. If I would have went through naturally, I would have had to wait until my body was ready, and who knows when that would have been. I was just ready. I was like, you know what? 9 pounds and his whole shoulder thing, I'm good. I'm good. So I could have went naturally. I definitely could. Do I regret not trying to go naturally? No, not at all. It is what it is. Giving birth naturally, of course, is a whole different experience. It's such a beautiful experience. But again, if I can prevent a risk of harming my baby when he don't need to be harmed, I'm gonna prevent that. So we went through with the C-section. I was scheduled in 3 days, and I was just like, okay, let's do it. It is what it is. we were just hoping that that ultrasound was correct. Honestly, there's always a chance that that ultrasound isn't correct. Ultrasounds tend to be off by weight by quite a bit. So we were just hoping that it was correct, that he was a big baby, that I wasn't doing a C-section for no reason. So I told her, I was like, you know what? I thought about it. I took a couple days to think about it, and I was literally like, I told her Sunday I was good with the C-section. My C-section was on Tuesday, so I literally thought about it for a couple days, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to harm my baby. I don't want to deal with potentially being in active labor for hours and hours and hours trying to deliver a 9-pound baby. It is what it is. I don't care. I just want a healthy baby. I want my son here. I'm ready for him. Let's do this C-section. So we just went through with that. So boom, here comes Tuesday, September 10th. Will forever be the best day of my entire life. September 10th come across. My C-section is scheduled for 5:30 p.m. September 10th. I couldn't sleep the night before. I was so anxious. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't scared. I was so ready for my son to be here. I could not sleep. So it sucked having a surgery scheduled for so late because I truly just wanted him to be here already. So I woke up September 10th. You can't eat 8 hours prior to your surgery. So I had to stop eating, and I believe, what is that, like 9 in the morning or something like that. Me being so anxious, I didn't eat a single thing. I had a Starbucks drink, and that was it. That was probably one of the worst decisions I made that entire day. I do not recommend, if you're having a C-section, make sure you eat beforehand. If you can, eat. I'm telling you, you will regret it. So I didn't eat nothing, just Starbucks. 9 o'clock, couldn't have nothing else. So it is what it is. So that whole day, honestly, I was just doing stuff around the house. I had to be at the hospital at 3 p.m. So I kind of had all day to kind of just get ready, prepare for my son. It was such a surreal feeling knowing that my son was going to be there that day. Like, it was just crazy to think about. Like, when I leave this house and I come back, my life is changed forever. But my mom came over, and we were kind of just getting the house ready a little bit more. Me, Zai, my mama, we were all just cleaning, putting up decoration shelves, cleaning his room up, all that type of stuff. I was so anxious. I made my mama take me to Target just so I could get out the house, and we went to Target. I bought him some more stuff, bought some stuff for around the house, and then we came home. And honestly, we left the house super early. We left at like 1 o'clock because I was ready, y'all. Y'all do not understand. I was ready. Like, I wanted my son. So we left the house, we went to the hospital, got there, did all the paperwork. They brought me back to like, what is it called? I think they called it like triage. I think that might be the wrong word. Don't make fun of me if that's the wrong word. But they brought me back to basically prepare for surgery around like 3:30. So I got back there. Honestly, it still wasn't hitting me that I am about to have a baby, like, at all. I did not feel like my son was about to be here. I did not feel like I was about to have one of the roughest surgeries ever. But they brought me back. They basically just they put an IV in with fluids, just did a couple last tests, a last ultrasound, make sure he was good, I was good, all that simple stuff to prepare for surgery. And that's when things got irritating, because there was a lot of emergency C-sections that day with other women, which I'm glad they were able to get in. I hope their babies are healthy. I'm glad I didn't have to go through an emergency C-section. I'm sure that is probably one of the scariest things ever. But there was a lot of emergency C-sections, and the hospital I was at only had one open OR. So if an emergency C-section comes in, they automatically go before me, which rightfully so. They deserve to go before me. but that just meant I just kept getting pushed back farther and farther and farther. So like I said, my surgery was scheduled at 5:30. They did not bring me to the OR until 10 o'clock at night. And that is why I was telling y'all, if y'all have an appetite, eat before your surgery. Because I went all day not eating, literally. So surgery is supposed to be at 5:30. We didn't get in there until 10 o'clock. I was so irritated. I was so tired. I was so hungry. It was just awful. Just sitting in a hospital bed for, what is that, 5, 6, 7, like 7 hours. Just anxious. Super anxious. And at this point, it still was not hitting me that I was about to have surgery. It did not hit me until I walked into that OR and I had a panic attack. So they brought me back at 10 o'clock and I had a full-blown panic attack. So I don't know why I did. It was just so crazy. Like, I literally walked in and my whole mind just changed. Like, I literally walked the entire way with the biggest smile on my face. And I swear, the minute I passed that line through the door into the OR, my heart literally sank so deep into my stomach. Like, I wasn't even scared. Like, it was just such a weird feeling. Like, I was more just like, it was more in my head like, oh my God, I'm about to have a baby. Like, they are about to take him out of my stomach. Like, that's what was hitting me. Like, I wasn't scared that something was gonna go wrong. I wasn't like, I don't know. It was so weird. So the room is freezing. It's all metal and white, and it was just a creepy room. I hated it. And it's a little tiny bed. Tiny bed. So first thing you do, you just walk in. So I had to go sit on the little bed. And it's not even a bed. It's literally just a sheet of metal at this point. But I just had to go sit down there. First thing you do is the spinal block, which numbs you from like ribs down. Honestly, that was the most painful thing I felt all night. The spinal block, it honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's a big needle, but you go numb almost instantly, and then it's just pressure. A lot of pressure. It literally just feels like someone has their finger in your spine and they're just like playing with it. So they put it in and they kind of have to like move it around to get it everywhere it needs to go. That was the most painful thing I felt all night. That says a lot. So it was a nurse in front of me, nurse behind me. He just leaned forward. They put it in your back, and that's that. I had an amazing set of nurses. They talked me through everything. At this point, I didn't have my panic attack yet. I was still a little calm. Like I said, the room was freezing, but I was sweating. So I was just like, I don't know. I could feel it coming. I knew that something was about to happen because I just didn't feel right, honestly. Like, I was literally just like, in my head, I was just like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. So at that point, I'm still good. Like I said, you go numb almost instantly. So I didn't feel my legs no more, like at all. So legs, it's not really numb. It's like you feel like a tingly feeling. So the minute they did that, obviously I can't move my legs on my own no more. The nurses helped me to get fully on the platform so I could be laying flat. They made sure that I was comfortable, kept talking to me. It's really weird. You have to sit with like your arms like this, which is kind of, I think that's what made me go into a panic attack. So they told me like there's little like rests and you just put your arms like this, and that's when everything changed. So I did that, They put my legs into butterfly position so I could put so they could put a catheter in, which is for your pee. So if you pee, it's not all over the place, because since you're numb, you can't control it no more. So they put a catheter in that will collect all your pee. You don't feel it at all. You're numb. There's no pain associated with that. So they put that in. They had me in butterfly position. And then it started to get hard to breathe, which is completely normal. My doctor told me beforehand that I was going to feel that. Your lungs get a little heavy. It really almost feels like you can't breathe, but you can perfectly fine. It's really just like a mental thing. So it started to feel like I couldn't breathe. I was like literally drowning in sweat. My arms were like this, and I just felt like I couldn't sit still. I felt like I just needed to like get up and run, but you can't. Your legs are numb. So I think it was more the fear of not having control of my body that sent me into a panic attack, because you lose all control. Your legs, everything. You can't move nothing. That is scary, like very scary. So my doctor was absolutely amazing. She came and was like, literally came right in my face, made sure to talk me through everything. They did not start nothing until I calmed down, until I told them I was ready. I'm sure she has scars on her hand, because when I tell y'all, I was on her arm like this, because I don't know why, but like when I freak out, I need to like grab something. Like if I would have had a stress ball, that would have been amazing, but I grabbed my doctor's hand and was kind of just going crazy with her hand. But she sat there with me the entire time, just kept trying to calm me down, walk me through everything. And then out of nowhere, I was okay. They came and put a blanket on me, on my chest. It was a warm blanket, which felt amazing. They put it over my chest and like kind of covered my mouth, not completely covering it. She asked me if I wanted it there though, but it kind of like came up to my chin. And like I said, my arms were just on the side, and then they put the tarp up in front of me, and I knew it was go time. At this point, Zai was in the room with me, sitting next to me. They did bring him in early. They usually don't bring your partner or your support person in until you are fully ready. They brought him in early because I was freaking out, and they told me, they're like, will he help? Like, can he, like, will having him around you help you? So I told them, I was like, yes, like, please bring him in here. So they let him come in early, which again was absolutely amazing. So he was able to sit there next to me while I was trying to calm down a little bit. And then we got started. So they put the tarp up. That was it. They didn't tell me they was starting, nothing. They did confirm that I was numb though. She asked me, she said, can you feel me touching you at all? And I was like, no, I can't feel nothing. So after that, I don't know when they started. Zai was literally sitting next to me. He asked me, he said, did they start yet? I said, I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. And then next thing you know, I hear the nurse behind me telling Zai to get his phone ready because our baby was about to be here. So they let him take a picture once the baby came out. So I heard the nurse say, okay, get your phone ready. And I knew, I was like, oh shoot, they did start. Like, they're about to take my baby out. And then once she said that, my doctor that was in front of me actually doing the procedure, she did tell me, she was like, okay, be prepared for extra pressure. And that pressure was crazy. When they actually took the baby out, it felt crazy. It did not hurt, but it felt so crazy. Like, it literally, just imagine someone just has their hands on your stomach and they're just pushing down with their full weight. Like, and then my son, he didn't want to come out at all. So it took them 2 tries. The first try, they couldn't get him out. And then they were able to get him out the second time. And once they got him out, it was just like a feeling of relief almost. Like, all the pressure went away. There was no pain, like nothing at all. Baby boy started crying instantly. They pulled the tarp down. Baby. I was just like, honestly, I was in shock. there was a baby in my face that just came out of my stomach. Honestly, I felt bad for my reaction, and I felt like a bad mom at first. And y'all probably like, why? Like, what did you do? Like, what happened? And I say that because when he came out, I almost had like no reaction. I was kind of too much in shock. I didn't cry. I did have a smile on my face for sure. I did like I was literally just looking at him smiling, but I didn't like cry or nothing like that. And I felt bad. I felt like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like my emotions shouldn't have been I feel like my emotions weren't what they should have been. But I don't know. It was just so surreal to me. And it was just like, that just came out of me. Like, that's so crazy. So they took him out, cut his cord. She cut it long. And then they took him to the room that was literally right next to me to clean him up, weigh him, everything like that. Zai did go with them for that, so he was able to watch everything, take some pictures. The nurse literally told him, he was like, make sure you take a lot of pictures for mama. She's gonna want to see. And then that was probably like five-ish minutes they took cleaning him up. And that's when they announced that he was a 9-pound, 4-ounce baby, which is huge. He's a big baby. So they announced that. Everyone was in shock, like, oh my god, how did this little girl carry that big old baby? But yeah, so like I said, the room was right next to me. I was just sitting there watching the entire time, and that's when the emotions finally started to hit me. That's when I finally realized, oh my god, like, that is my son. Like, I just gave birth to a healthy, beautiful baby boy. And I literally was just laying there like this, because you can't move still. I was just laying there like this, just watching them. And then I was, like I said, Zai was in the room with them. And then, like, he was just, like, so in shock, too. Like, he had a smile on his face the whole time, just staring. He did not take his eyes off of his son. And I was just like, oh, my God, this is so beautiful. Like, I was just sitting there watching them the whole time. I was upset because, like, I wanted to be there. I wanted to see my son. I wanted to be near him. But they had to clean him up while they're sewing me up. So getting him out was only like 5 minutes, but sewing me up was like 45 minutes. So I was just sitting there watching them. After they got him all cleaned up, they brought him to me. There's my phone. Of course, we got a picture. They brought him to his mama, and they put him right on my chest. And that was probably one of the best feelings I've ever felt in my entire life. It was just crazy having my son on my chest. Like, they were just sitting there holding him so I could just soak it all in. Show y'all the picture. So this was in the OR, obviously, so y'all can see the tarp. There's mama. Yes, I have his face blurred out. That's not how he look in real life. His face is blurred out because people are hateful, and I don't have the energy right now to deal with hateful people. Y'all will see him eventually. I don't know when, but y'all will see him eventually. But right now, we protected my peace, protecting my family. So, but that picture's in the OR, so they just had him kind of like on a little bed behind me, and he was just, we were just cheek to cheek. And he was wide awake the whole time. Like, his eyes were open the whole time. And I swear, me and him were just looking eye to eye the whole time. And I just had a smile on my face the entire time. And he was just like, these people are sitting here sewing me up. My stomach is wide open right now. And I'm sitting here, the happiest woman alive. Like, it's crazy to even think about. But that was definitely the best feeling in my entire life. I will never forget that. I'm so glad that there's a picture to even remember it. It was amazing. They left him there for so long too. He was only supposed to be there for a couple minutes, and they were supposed to take dad and baby to the recovery room. But they left him there for so long, and I'm so grateful for that. He was almost with me the entire time I was getting sewn up. And I think they left him there because he wasn't crying. He was being still. He was comfortable. He just wanted to be by his mama. So they left him there with me the entire time, almost. When I was like almost done getting sewn up, they brought dad and baby to the recovery room. And yeah, they finished doing what they had to with me. Started to clean up, took the tarp down. I'm still numb. And then you still can't move at all, obviously. So they had to transfer me to another bed. They kind of told me, just go limp. We'll transfer you ourselves. Don't move. So they transferred me to another bed so they could bring me to the recovery room. And that was that. I was out of the OR. I was in there for probably a total of an hour at most. It was very, very quick. It was honestly an amazing experience. Besides the whole little panic attack thing, everything went amazing. They rolled me to the recovery room, which is just, it's like a big old hospital room. But there's like, there was 2 beds in there, and there's like curtains. So there was another mama that just got done that was recovering, and then there was me. Obviously curtains were closed, so we had our privacy. And then there was like a little team of nurses in there. I was in the recovery room for 2 hours. It's exactly what it's called. It's a recovery room. You go there, they monitor you and they monitor baby, make sure y'all are both good. That's when they started doing the stomach massages with me. Oh my God. If you've had a C-section, you know how bad those stomach massages are. It's just them. It's quick, but they literally have to press down on your stomach. Oh, it's painful. It's bad. But I don't remember it now. It is what it is now, so it's worth it. But yeah, I was in there for 2 hours. They gave me my baby, and we were just chilling for 2 whole hours. It was just so relaxing. That's when family was able to start coming to see me, my mama, his mama. But yeah, so they were doing that. Just kept checking on me, making sure everything was going good, trying to see if I was having any feeling coming back yet in my legs. It was slowly coming back. It did take a very, very long time to be able to feel my legs again, which was scary. But it wasn't too bad. And then once those 2 hours were up, they told me they were finally moving me to the like postpartum section of the hospital. That's where I was going to stay for a couple days while I was recovering. By the time they brought me there, it was so late at night. I was exhausted. My baby was asleep. He was ready for bed. We all were. So they brought me to the room, kind of just briefly walked me through everything. Like I said, it was super late at night, so everyone was kind of just tired. But yeah, they told me what was going on. They gave me paperwork, and then there really wasn't much to do. They checked on baby, checked on mama, and then kind of just let us rest. My hospital was really big on giving us time with our baby without nurses bothering us. They did not really bother us unless we asked them to bother us, which was amazing. So that was perfect. So yeah, so there was a couch in there. I had to sleep on the couch, of course. I don't think he was complaining though. There was like a little mini bassinet next to the bed. That's where baby was. Mama on the bed. I wasn't in any pain that entire night. It was perfect. Obviously I didn't sleep much. I was just sitting there staring at my baby all night. Zai was absolutely amazing. Still is amazing with the whole postpartum care. But in the hospital especially, I will never forget it. I will never take it away from him how amazing he was during the hospital. Anytime I needed any type of help, that man got up instantly and helped me. Obviously, I already see the haters. Y'all, that's bare minimum. That's what a man's supposed to do. It is, but not every man does do that. So every time baby boy needed a diaper change, needed anything, was crying, anything, he would get up and help me. Obviously, it was not easy for me to get up super quick and help. So baby boy was obviously right next to me in his bassinet. And it was just, it literally just makes me so happy even thinking about that I had that type of support, because he made my entire recovery absolutely amazing. That man got no sleep at all during that whole hospital that whole hospital visit. I feel so bad for him, but he was amazing. I love him to death for it. But yeah, so that's honestly what has made my recovery super easy. Y'all keep asking me how my recovery is going. Absolutely amazing. During the hospital, I honestly got lucky. I haven't felt much pain since I was in the hospital. So the most pain I felt was day 1 and day 2. And it wasn't even pain. It was probably like a 5 out of 10, if that. The only pain that I truly felt was the whole like fully getting out of bed. So when I would have to fully get out of bed and stand up, that's when the pain would start to happen. But that was only like the first or second day. I still had a catheter in as well, so they kept that in for quite a while, so I didn't have to worry about walking to the bathroom, using the bathroom, nothing like that. So that wasn't too bad. And then I started to walk on day 1. I started walking already. They asked me if I felt like I could get up and walk. I told them yes. I feel amazing. Get me up and out of here. So I was kind of just trying to be a superstar so I could get out of the hospital. I did not want to be there. So I was just showing them that I could walk. I felt good. Obviously walking helps your recovery as well. So I just kept doing a couple laps every here and there, walking around the room, getting up with my baby, all that good stuff. I was kind of just, like I said, trying to show them that I was good to go home. So they finally took the catheter out. That was uncomfortable. It's not painful, it's just uncomfortable. They took the catheter out. Of course, they took it out and I couldn't pee on my own after that. So they ended up having to put the catheter back in, which was awful. I wasn't numbed, I wasn't pain. Like, I felt everything. It was super uncomfortable putting the catheter back in. They had to drain everything, and then after that I was good. Once they took it out again, I was able to use the restroom on my own, and everything went well. So that's kind of what they're looking for, to send you home, that you're not in excruciating pain, that you can pee on your own, you can walk on your own, you can hold your baby, all that type of stuff. So after 2 days, I went home. They told me I was cleared to go home. My incision looks absolutely fantastic. They did an amazing job. My baby, healthy as ever. They were checking on him probably, I don't know, they didn't check on him too much, but they were coming in the room probably every couple hours, just checking him, making sure he was good, coming in, checking me, my blood pressure. So everything cleared out. I wasn't really taking too many pain meds anymore, so I went home after only 2 days. And honestly, I probably could have stayed an extra day. That first day home was kind of rough, but again, Zai made it amazing. He was here, my mama was here, and his mama was here, and they all definitely let me get my rest. I still had my baby the entire time. I did not want to put him down, but they would help me with the whole transferring, getting up out of bed, all that type of stuff. So they made that super, super easy. And my whole recovery has been like that. Zai has been amazing, taking care of him when I need him to, letting me get my rest. But honestly, the first week was the hardest. After that first week, I'm pretty much at like 90% right now. I can get up, walk, everything. no pain at all. I can lift my baby up, no pain. I was laying on my stomach earlier, absolutely no pain. So the recovery has been absolutely amazing. I definitely got lucky. I know it's a hit or miss. Some women have awful recoveries. Mine has been absolutely amazing. So I got cleared to drive today. I had my 2-week appointment today, so I got cleared to drive. My incision is healing fantastic. No postpartum depression as of right now. I'm doing my absolute best to avoid that. I know it's hard. Camera died. We're back. But as I was saying, I wouldn't trade being a mama for the world. I love it. It's amazing. I love my son. He's an angel baby. And honestly, I want like 7 more kids. JK. Not kidding. I feel like I need a daughter. I really do. But we gonna see. We gonna see how that go. Y'all been telling me the first one always good, and it tricks you into having the second one, and that second one, oh. But I truly do love it. It's been awesome. I have been so happy. Like, just the thought of him, like, I miss him so much, even just recording this video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. My recovery is amazing. To sum things up, I feel good. I love being a mama. I love all y'all for supporting me through everything, being patient with me, being so amazing to me. So yeah, if I missed anything that y'all have any questions about, make sure to leave a comment down below. I'll make sure to answer that for y'all. I'm sure I missed a lot of things, but honestly, I don't remember a lot of things because all I was worried about was this giving birth to my son. So if I have missed anything, just ask and we'll answer it for you. So I think that's about it. I love all of y'all. Thank y'all if y'all watched this whole video. I know it's a long one, but if y'all watched the whole video, I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see y'all beautiful, beautiful people next week.